Maimonides, the Rambam. I've been writing about Rambam but failed to explain who he is. This is important because when I reference the Rambam, I'm not quoting some random rabbi or obscure commentator. I am talking about Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, known in English as Maimonides, one of the most influential Jewish thinkers in history. He lived from 1138 to 1204, and his impact on Judaism is almost impossible to overstate. If Judaism were an operating system, Rambam wrote the user manual. He was born in Spain, forced to flee Islamic persecution with his family, wandered for years, and eventually settled in Egypt. There, he became the personal physician to the Sultan. By day, he treated royalty. By night, he wrote books that still shape Jewish law and thought 800 years later. Let that sink in. A refugee, a doctor to a ruler, a philosopher, a legal architect of Judaism. His magnum opus, the Mishneh Torah, was revolutionary. Before Rambam, Jewish law was scattered across thousands of pages of Talmudic debate, dense, layered, complex. Rambam organized all of it into a clear, logical system. No back and forth arguments, no chaos, just clarity. He did not invent the law, he structured it. Then there is the Guide for the Perplexed, written for people struggling between faith and reason. Rambam argued that science and Torah do not contradict each other, that God is not threatened by philosophy, that truth, properly understood, is unified. In the 12th century, he also articulated the 13 principles of faith, which became foundational beliefs for much of the Jewish world. But here is why he matters today. Rambam saw Judaism as a disciplined civilization, not a trend, not a political identity, not vague spirituality. Law, memory, covenant, nationhood, responsibility. He believed the Jewish people were a living nation bound by obligations to God, to each other, and to moral conduct in the world. For non-Jews reading this, Rambam is to Judaism what Aristotle was to philosophy or Aquinas was to Christianity, a system builder who shaped centuries of thought. For secular Jews reading this, you do not need to be religious to respect Rambam. He represents intellectual confidence, a Jew who absorbed Greek philosophy, Islamic scholarship, and advanced medicine, and remained unapologetically Jewish. He did not water Judaism down to survive in elite intellectual circles. He mastered those circles, and then he explained Judaism with clarity and courage. When I write about the Rambam, I am referencing a civilizational architect. In an era drowning in noise and ideological confusion, clarity is not just refreshing, it is revolutionary. That was Rambam, and that is why who he is matters. Important note, he is called Rambam because it is an acronym formed from his Hebrew name, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon. In Hebrew, the initials of his title and name, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, combine to form Rambam, pronounced Rambam. This is a traditional Jewish way of referring to great scholars, using the first letters of their names as a respectful shorthand. It is not a nickname, but a title of stature. In Jewish history, when someone can be identified simply by an acronym and everyone knows exactly who you mean, that reflects the magnitude of their influence. If you enjoy my writing, support me by buying my book, Screaming into the Void, available on paperback or Kindle on Amazon.com.